All right, welcome back to another episode of Her Court, Her Rules. I am Najah Lee. This is Hustle, my co-host. We about to get
Yo,
it poppin' because I'm trying to tell y'all we a little tight about a couple things. We're a little bit tight about a couple things. First of
it's
all, Commissioner's Cup is rocking. All right, it's rocking and it's popping. However, we got some teams in the Commissioner's Cup that they trying their best. At least I know a few players are definitely trying their best, but the results are just not seen in the win-loss column. So before I get started with, ranting about what's really irking me right now, I want to first salute the New York Liberty. Gotta clap it up for the Liberty, okay? Undefeated, doing what they need to do on the
mm-hmm.
East, representing for the Commissioner's Cup, right? And
Yes,
then
man.
I gotta salute Minnesota Lynx.
Minnesota Lynx, same thing. Let's you
They
know what I
doing
mean?
what
Yeah,
they doing on the
yeah.
West, representing for the Commissioner's Cup. Both teams are undefeated, and both teams obviously are undefeated in the Commissioner's Cup. And remember, on episode 2, Her Court, Her Rules, we talked about maybe potential tiebreakers. What does that mean in the Commissioner's Cup? We ain't gonna have no tiebreakers, y'all. Ain't gonna
Yeah,
be no tiebreakers.
yeah. I don't think so. I
Eh,
don't
We gonna
think so.
see. More than likely, we gonna see that rematch, right?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. The
We gonna see the
rematch,
rematch.
and that's the rematch of the finals last year.
Yep.
That the Liberty won, and then it's also a rematch of the Commissioner's Cup championship last year that
Yep.
Minnesota won.
Yep.
So, this
It's
is
turning
going,
up. It's
yeah.
turning up. It's almost like where we saw the league, the season start.
hmm
Everybody had their picks, right? It's like we feel like based on the rosters with the addition of T Cloud, you might as well go ahead and pencil the Liberty right there in the finals. I mean,
Yeah.
they were there last year. So
hmm
in my mind as a basketball fan, I always go to who were there last year. I'm gonna already make you a favorite unless something catastrophic happened,
hmm
injury, major trade. You're a
Right.
favorite already.
Right.
So the two teams who were there last year walked into this season before playing one game. They were favorites because the
Right.
roster is pretty much the same on both teams with a couple little tweaks here and there.
hmm
Then the season plays out exactly how we thought. Now, usually it don't work like that. Like
Right.
it's usually like you might have your favorites. Like last year, Aces came in as being a favorite to go back to the finals, and they started off slow. You got you Chelsea Gray was injured, and so it started to look right after about 8 to 10 games. They not the team that they were last year.
hmm
We can go ahead and cut it. Okay. This season, though, Minnesota and New York is exactly who we thought they were before any tip off on game one. They are who they are. They're
hmm
dominant. They're confident. They know exactly what they're doing. They have great poise, great coaching. And can I say it's already dark? Forget it's about to get
Yeah.
dark. Now
Yes.
we almost just like fast forward to the end of the season. How many more
Yeah.
games we got? Just get us to the finals because I can't wait to see that series.
Yeah.
I mean, unless something crazy happens, we already know who's gonna be in the finals, right?
Yeah. And with Natasha Cloud, New York adding her,
Yeah.
like I feel like you lose, Vandersloot, you lose a couple people. But and I mean you lose Lainey Hamilton, you lose Kayla Thornton, so it's like, ooh, you lose all of them, but then you gain somebody like Tasha Cloud, which is like, I'm not saying she's better than all three of them combined, but defensively, she's
Defensively.
gonna she can handle that. She's guarding the best player. I mean, between her and Stewie, like them
Yeah.
is two great defensive players you got
Yeah.
right
And
now.
Stewie don't get enough credit for her defense. She
Now
does
she
not get
don't.
enough credit.
They give her the the credit for the offense, which is
Yeah.
cool. But defensively, she's one of the best defensive players, and it has been since college. Like she's
Yeah.
always been one of the best defensive players. So
Yeah.
right now, the Liberty is averaging, like, the wins. They're averaging like 20-point wins. This season so far, Minnesota is averaging between 10 to 15. So the thing with Minnesota, sometimes they might start out a little slow,
Yeah.
but I mean they finishing how they supposed to finish. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to it.
And even if like this year they didn't start off slow, and I think that's because of Nafisa. I think
Yeah.
Nafisa really got a chip on her shoulder. Like
Mm-hmm.
she really probably, I'm Nafisa. I'm gonna play Nafisa. Y'all know y'all should have gave me that MVP last year.
Yeah.
Y'all was playing with me like crazy, and y'all gonna give me this defensive player of the
The
year, and that's
defensive
cool and
player of the
all
year.
that. But y'all should have gave me both of them. How about that?
Right.
How
Right.
about that? I'm gonna be Nafisa, okay? Cause see, I ain't never won nobody's MVP. Now back when I was in junior high school, right? Gotta take it all the
Right.
way back, right? Okay, I won defensive player of the year in softball.
Okay. Okay.
That count for something. The glove, right?
The Golden Glove. You got
The Golden Glove. I played two positions on defense, okay? And I played shortstop. I played second. Listen, we not
Oh
even gonna talk
man.
about it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Nafisa said, okay, I'm gonna make it apparently
Mm-hmm.
clear
Yeah.
that I need that trophy. I don't care how
Mm-hmm.
bite size or big it is. I
Yeah.
need that plaque. I need that trophy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think her determination, not getting so close to winning it all, and then potentially losing off of bad refereeing and just bad calls. I mean, the calls were
Right.
bad on both sides in the finals. But if I'm the opposing team, I'm like, dog, couple calls go my way,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. That's a
we,
fact.
we
That
might have our
that
championship. So
yeah. That's a fact.
so
That
I
game,
think
especially the last game, it could have went either way for real.
it really could have went either way. It would, and
Mm-hmm.
the last finals I just thought was such a great testament of how both teams deserve to be here, and either team can actually win. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was really no favorite as far as competitively, there was no favorite. Either team can pull out this W. So,
Yeah.
again, shout out to the WNBA with the competition. Now
Right.
we know again coming into the season who are our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we know who's really pissing us off right now, right? We know the teams that are really aggravating us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start by talking about, is the sky falling in Chicago? Has it failed already and we don't just want to, state it?
I mean, it's tough.
It's tough. It's tough to watch, okay? Um it's also tough to witness the backlash of certain things. So, I'm just going to go and say this. Chicago Sky faced backlash over Angel Reese announcement after loss to New York Liberty. Now, can you imagine what the backlash may have been? Don't even answer that. I'm going to go right into it.
Yeah, let's get right to
Obviously, Angel Reese had her best game yesterday, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So before we even get into the game, after the first quarter, uh, she's interviewed. Now, first and foremost, I don't like how the WNBA does their in-game interview.
Yeah, I don't
They'll
like them.
wait. I mean,
I don't like them.
my niggas still sweating, bro. Like
I'm still
trying to
catching
get
my
my
breath.
water, dry
Yeah.
my face off.
Trying to catch my breath.
My team is in a huddle, right? They
Right.
going through what we need to adjust for the second quarter.
Right.
Meanwhile, they want to ask me questions about. They're nothing about these.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. I'm sorry.
I hate it. It's
I'm not
kind
a
of
fan of that.
disrespectful,
Mm-hmm.
but and it's almost like they know you might say something that you probably shouldn't say, and so they want to jam you up or have that bad image on the video, regardless of the fact. They asking her a question about how can they adjust, how can they slow New York down, what can they do better to potentially make this game a close game, you know, even though they what did I say? New York was favored to win by like 1,000 points yesterday.
It was like
It was like plus 900.
it was 16 technically. It was like it was over. It was like 16.
Yeah, well, they was right. Okay, Vegas was right with the odds. Okay, the
Yeah, it was like the
ESPN
odds was like 16.
odds were like y'all gonna get spanked, and that's what happened, right? But Angel's commentary I thought was great.
Mm-hmm.
When the lady asked her some questions, Angel pretty much said, like, listen, I can't speak for everybody else,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do exactly what I can do. And even if that means I got to do some things that I don't normally do, I'm going to do whatever I can to help my team win. Because,
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm a winner, A, and B, I'm a team player. And I think that for all the backlash that Angel Reese gets about her game, I think is unprecedented. I don't think it deserves to be. This is her second season. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all thought she was going to be a double walking rebounder, walking defender in LSU, and then come to the W first season, second season, and then be averaging 20 points, all of y'all are bugging. Y'all all bumped y'all head. It's not happening.
Yeah, but she didn't. And my whole thing with that is she didn't even average 20 in college. Like, you know
Exactly.
what I mean? She averaged probably like, I think it was like between like a little over 15, like 17. Probably we gonna get her 17 and 10. You know, it's definitely a double, but
Yeah.
she didn't even average 20 in college. So how do people, I don't get how people expected her to be making, like, she's not the reason they're losing.
She's
You
not.
know, she's not it's not like she averaged 20 something in college and now she's averaging 15. It's like,
Exactly.
all right, like but even still though, it's like, okay, that's going from college to the pros. But
Exactly.
you know, she didn't do it. So you know
Right.
how people always talk about the me bounds, like that is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love that term, it's hilarious. Like the
I
first
never
time I
heard
heard
that till
that,
today. That's
huh?
crazy. I never heard that till you say that. Me
Yeah. The
bounds. That's
first time I heard of
wild.
a me bound was with Jeff Teague and them on the 520 podcast,
Oh
the
yeah, yeah. I like
520
that little
Club,
podcast with
the
Chandler.
520 Club. So shout out to Jeff Teague,
Yeah, shout out to
B
them.
Hen, shout out to the 520 Club.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I heard. I don't know if they made it up, but that was the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
Was a me bound. But if you look at her stats, she's averaging, say she averaged 15 rebounds, right?
Right.
Only 7 of them, or even if you say 13, say give her, she averaged like 13 rebounds, right? Only 5 of them, only 5 of them is offensive rebounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like she averaging 13 rebounds and 10 of them is, and then even
Yeah.
though they all, 5 offensive rebounds, they're not all hers.
Exactly.
Maybe 2 or
Exactly.
3 of them is hers or whatever,
Yeah.
but the other 2 is off other people miss. So you know, I like you said, I don't like how the media portray her at all. I love how she's handling herself.
Oh my God.
I love how she's handling herself, but it's like, come on, she's still human.
She's
She's
still
still
human.
young. She's
Yeah.
still a woman. So
Yeah.
I know, that it's tough, man. But
Yeah.
the press conference she had yesterday, she had a good teammate that
Yeah.
bigged her up, and
Yeah.
that's what you need is a good support system.
You need a good support system. And it just shows that she is ready for the moment. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like she was ready to carry the weight of being like uh the scapegoat. You feel
yeah,
me? Like people have a very short-term memory when it comes to this Chicago Sky franchise. It's
hmm
been trash. It's
yeah.
been trash, y'all.
Since
Like,
21, before since 21.
yeah, it's like after Candace
Well,
Parker, listen,
22. I guess
if
22.
Candace Parker doesn't say I want to go and play for my home team,
Mm-hmm.
the Sky will forever be a trash team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Candace Parker changed our mind. Kalia Copper changed our mind
Mm-hmm.
about the Sky.
Yeah.
But if the Sky was really the organization that people wanted to play for, people
Mm-hmm.
will be running. Because if I'm a guard, I'm trying to tell you, if I'm a guard, I would love to play with Angel. You know
Yeah.
why? She don't even call for the ball for real.
Yeah.
She want to set the pick. She want to get the board.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She's really like a female Draymond. When you
Yeah.
really think about it, now she handling the ball.
Yeah.
Baby
She
girl,
doing more now because she feels she got to.
she feel like she has to. And so one of the beautiful things about Vandersloot going down with an injury and not really having no other guards backing her up. Now imagine this: as an organization,
Mm-hmm.
you got a 35-plus-year-old guard that's has a history of injuries.
Yeah.
Running your team, which ain't bad because Vandersloot can do what she do. Like she's a
Yeah.
great point guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, there's nothing coming behind her. No youth, no youthful experience coming behind her.
Mm-hmm.
So were y'all supposed to just say, you know what, Vandersloot, this the job. You got to play all the minutes. There is nothing. So now you got Haley Van Lith, who wasn't really getting no tick to begin with. I
Right.
don't know what they seeing in her in practice or how they practices look, but for you to draft a rookie and don't cut him and then don't play him is
And then
wild.
don't play. Yeah.
Because if they're not good enough, this team is terrible. So you can't tell me that she ain't good enough to get some minutes.
Right. And
So
she third string. She not even the back. Well, now she's the backup because Sloot out for the
yeah,
year with the ACL. So
yeah,
now she's technically second string. But
yeah,
it's like, come on, now she's second. She was third string. And like you said, like I don't know if you look at her in college, she went to the Elite Eight. She played college 5 years. Some played more than or less or whatever. So she played in college 5 years. She made it to the Elite Eight all 5 years. At least the Elite Eight. She made it to the Final Four before, but at least the Elite Eight all 5 years. So she got it, and she started. So she gotta be okay. Like she gotta be.
She ain't a bum,
right?
She not a bum. Now, her WNBA stats in 6 games will suggest that she's a bum. But this lets you know that there's a disconnect here with the coaching. And if you've been watching Haley for 5 years of her playing, at least 4, I at least watched her for 4 years. 2 years at Louisville, LSU, and then TCU. Right? I may not be familiar with her as a freshman, but I feel like I was because I was watching Dana Evans. Yeah. And so I feel like I was still watching Haley, even though I wasn't specifically like zooming in on her.
Right.
One thing you know about Haley, if her confidence is broken, she ain't worth it. She not worth it on the court. If she feels like the coaches don't believe in her mental is she's off. Like it's like a switch for her from what I see. Now I thought pairing her up with Angel again would be like, all right, okay, I got my girl, you know what I mean? We might not have had like the best experience in LSU winning together, but they had a good relationship.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that'd be cool. But if she's not in the rotation with the starters or even the second string, I don't know how she's going to help you. So in 6 games played in the W, she's averaged 3.7 points, 1.2 rebounds, and 1.5 assists a game.
And how many minutes? Probably like 5 minutes.
Not even enough for Google to talk about.
It's
Google
definitely
said
less
we
than
ain't
10.
Gonna talk about minutes.
I know it's less than 10 though, for sure.
I think she's averaging like 12 minutes a game.
Oh, but that's probably.
I mean, and that's from last game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's last game. Right.
So that being said, I feel like Haley, we know she's a great ball handler. What I'm seeing from her just last game, she played the most minutes she ever played in the W yesterday. What I'm seeing from her is just uncertainty. And she's uncertain because she's not confident. She's not confident because she hasn't played. You got to play her, and you almost got to put her in the position where, all right, Haley, this you and Angel's team. Y'all got to say it. See, the thing about Chicago is they teetering around it. Call it what it is. Yep. Angel is the face of this team. Build around her. It's really that simple. Don't be trying to figure out what you need to do is get the perfect pieces that's going to support Angel Reese. You know what her game is.
Yeah.
So you having people like he a nurse around Angel, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You need more ball handlers. You need somebody like a Kalia Cooper. You need somebody like that who like, you know what? I'm from the same trenches you from. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Like somebody who just kind of rough around the edges, but also got played with a little bit of finesse and could create their own shot. And that's what I'm not seeing from Chicago. I'm seeing a lot of a little bit of selfishness, but just a lot of just like I saw Camilla, she got an offensive rebound and she literally just threw it up. And I'm like, no, you're a big, you know what to do. Bounce, put your body in them lean and then get a good shot up. Don't rush it. Settle down.
Yeah.
We're down by 50. No, I mean, realistically, we're already down by 15. You have no reason to rush. Settle down. Let's get to it.
And then especially yesterday, John Quill didn't even, play yesterday. So with her not even playing, I feel like, Angel there, she got her double, so she did her. But I feel like Cardoso she should have had more rebounds or more points or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like, just overall, Chicago, as far as coaching, I'm just disappointed. I thought Tyler Marsh was, when you look at his history, he has, and the commentators love talking about him.
Yeah,
it's like they just love saying,
they love him. Yeah, they love him.
He was an assistant coach for the Pacers. He has a great relationship. I know he's been cheering them on. Don't nobody care about the Indiana Pacers when I'm watching the Chicago.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
tonight is the finals.
Yeah,
I'll be
they
watching
love
the
him.
game on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But what I won't be doing is thinking about the finals while I'm watching the WNBA. I'm not gonna
Right.
cheat on my WNBA ladies like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give y'all your respect and your space.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like from the fans' perspective and from the just the worldview around Chicago and around Angel, it ain't a good look for the WNBA. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
a
it's
good
not.
look for the WNBA.
It's not.
You know, because they would have never treated LeBron like this.
Mm-hmm.
Again, LeBron was drafted to the worst team in the league,
Yeah,
and he was still the king.
yeah.
He had hella flaws in his game. Boy couldn't
Mm-hmm.
shoot worth a lick when he
Right.
got to the pros. Couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
All he could do was drive to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't play no defense. It was only help defense. If he was on his man, he was getting cooked. We know that.
Yeah.
But he's still LeBron. And you
Right.
got to give players room to grow and develop.
Mm-hmm.
And once we see that she's developing within the season, again, she ain't had an off season yet. She ain't had a break yet.
Right. She ain't right.
So if she's making these adjustments live, she took like 3 or 4 3-pointers all last season. She
Mm-hmm.
took 3 last game and made 1.
Yeah.
What is Angel's game going to be at the end of the season?
Mm-hmm.
So the people who on her back, get in my DMs and I'll
Yeah.
tell you 1 or 2 things about
And
her.
I don't even feel like she's playing bad. Like
She's
you were saying
not.
earlier, like you were just saying, it's the pieces around her. Like I like her. I like they front court, right?
Yeah.
I really like they front court. They front court is good, but
Yeah.
like you said, they guard play. So you know, one thing, you know, we maybe now they might look into signing another guard. You know, Arian McDonald, she balling right now.
Yeah.
Once you know, she's not on that team anymore, then maybe once she's not with the Fever anymore,
Yeah.
maybe because they can't resign her, you know,
Yeah.
they can't really resign her. So once that backcourt get healthy, and then they're gonna have to terminate her contract. Once
Yeah.
that happens, hopefully Chicago, if they care about winning,
Yeah.
then I feel like they have to sign her or
Yeah.
somebody, but I feel like they have to make some type of move with the guards within the next. I mean, they
Today.
almost 10 games in now, so about 10 games in. So they got to do something within the next 2 weeks to, if you want to try to salvage the season a little bit.
At the end of every game, they need to be calling every guard free agent that got cut or didn't make the team and be like, "Hey, what you doing? Hey, big head, what's up
Right.
with you?" Because you ain't. I mean, because you're not playing for nobody.
Right.
So unless you playing for somebody, you playing overseas or whatever you doing, you coaching somewhere or whatever. And unless you are actively working in the sport, don't call them. But everybody else, call them.
Yeah.
Call them. And I did a little bit of research because I'm like, yo, if I'm Angel Reese, I'm gonna talk to my agent because I got to go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I feel like she would have a different respect if she wasn't with Chicago. So her Google, shout out to Google, right? Her Google, a WNBA rookie, so she's not a rookie anymore, but she can technically request a trade, but it's not a guaranteed outcome. So rookies are signed to 3-year deals with a 4th-year option. Now, the thing about the WNBA is that contract obviously is not guaranteed.
Right.
So the team can cut a rookie at any point.
Right.
But if a rookie want to cut the team because the team is garbage and literally ain't trying to improve, I gotta get the team got to pretty much say, "Oh yeah, we can go ahead." But why would Chicago ever let her go?
Right.
But then, if I'm Angel Reese, because Angel Reese got more publicity than the biggest, she technically based on statistics and following, she's the biggest.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna leverage the biggest.
Hands down. But they probably ain't gonna want to let her go because of that. You know how much jerseys and merch they selling, and
that's true.
people they only on TV because of her. Like regardless of their record, they wouldn't be on ESPN, and
never.
They wouldn't have moved that. Well, they moved that Chicago and Indiana game to the United Center last weekend. They moved that, and that was the first WNBA game playing at the United Center. But they did that because of her and Caitlin. Obviously, Caitlin was hurt, but that was set up way before that, so they didn't know. But still, it's not only because it's Caitlin. Because if me personally, I feel like if Angel ain't played for Chicago and the Fever went to Chicago, I don't think they would have moved it to the United Airlines Center. I think it would have just been a regular game.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
because
they
they
weren't
moved
moving
2
those
games.
games
They
with
moved
Candace Parker. And Candace Parker is top 3 GOAT.
exactly.
So they moved nothing for that. Okay,
Exactly.
so if y'all was really, if y'all care enough about the star player,
Yeah.
just like the Cavs did with LeBron and every other team with LeBron, when you got a star, the star feels like a star.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know Angel personally, but I'm sure she don't feel like I'm the star on this team. Because why y'all ain't making no moves? I mean, even last season, the only move you made was Kia Nurse, Ariel Atkins. I mean, she got a decent career with Washington. I mean, she's got accolades.
Yeah.
But again, you need to pair the stars, the people to match with the star.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's like what they do, since we want to talk about the Pacers, what they put around Halliburton. A bunch of people that can compliment him.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of people that just want to dish the ball. And no, we need some goons over here. And I feel like she just ain't got enough goons next to her. So
nah, she don't.
That's what's scuffing my Tims on today. What's scuffing your Tims, sir?
What's scuffing my Tims was the fact that the Atlanta Dream, because what y'all gonna know, y'all gonna learn us, y'all learning us. That's my second favorite team as of right now in the W, behind the Liberty. But they lost. The Dream lost to Connecticut, and
head scratcher.
Now we talk about Connecticut Sun this year, right? We talking about this year's version. We're not talking about over 4 or 5 years they've been trash. No, they've been good. They've been good, but this year they're not, right? How y'all lose by 48 to the Liberty, the Sun. They get that was a Sunday game. Then they played the Dream on like that Friday. So they had like 3 minutes, 3 days, I should say, 3 days off, and then they beat the Dream.
Yeah.
And then they lose by 30 after that. Come on, Dream. We got to do better.
Can we do better though? Can we?
But the good thing I can say, I'm just more or less disappointed in that game overall. I'm not disappointed. We second in the East right now.
Yeah.
So I'm really not disappointed. And then after that, we beat Indiana right after that.
Yeah.
So,
which was a great game.
Which was a great game.
Great game.
It was a great game. Indiana was fighting in the beginning.
Yeah.
They was fighting, but then, like I said, with the Connecticut game, Alicia Gray, she averaged 20. She's averaging 20 this year. She was the only one that didn't show up that game.
Yeah.
So I feel like with that being the case, I mean, they only lost by what? I think like it was less than 10 points, like 8 points, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was
8. It was like 8 points. So they didn't get blown out. They didn't lose by 8. She had 11. If she would have had her 20, they probably would have won. Still may would have lost, probably would have won. Yeah. BG did good. Ryan Howard did good. So I'm just more or less disappointed in that game. But that's what happens in sports. You never know. The best team could always lose to the worst team. The worst team could always beat the best team. That's why you play the games. That's why you don't just go by the schedule. That's why you have to play the games.
You got to play it. You got to play it. And speaking of playing, I feel like, when at the top of the season, I put a little a short up on YouTube asking the people, who do y'all think is going to be the best 1-2 punch in the W? Now, ironically, on the WNBA's Instagram page, they put, I think today or yesterday, they just posted the best 1-2 punch is 4 of them, right? And so Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray was obviously on there. Now, coming into the season, I thought outside of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, which we haven't really got a chance to really see their growth together on the court this season, I thought that the second best 1-2 punch is Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard, because they can do everything on both sides.
Right.
Okay? I think Ryan Howard's defense coming into this season was underrated. I think she's proven herself this season that you need to watch out for me, because when they put her on Caitlin Clark, nobody thought, everybody thought Caitlin Clark was still going to be able to do what she needed to do.
Right.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
And so now we're seeing that Ryan Howard, not only can she give you, she's a walking bucket, 3-level scorer. And I think that maybe she can stand to be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, she can just, but her and Alicia Gray can do that. But they're both unselfish players.
Right.
They both come from system. Well, Alicia Gray come from a system, right, in college.
Yeah.
But Ryan Howard come from, she already know what she can give you because she gave you all the buckets in the world in college.
Yeah.
So now it's like I think that she's trying to adapt to like, okay, let me dish, let me guard, let me fill up the stat line. Because we know if she wanted to give you, in my mind, 30 points a night.
Yeah, she could.
She really could. She really could.
Because she wasn't doing 30 in college, but she went to Kentucky, and Kentucky, I'm not gonna say they didn't, like you said, I'm not gonna say they didn't have a system, but Kentucky was more or less ball out.
Just do what you gotta do.
That's the main reason why I like the Ellen Dream, is because of her. I watched her in college, and then I'm like, yo, wherever she go, that's what I'm rocking.
I'm watching.
Yeah, that's why I like Atlanta for real.
Yeah,
New York is because of the state I'm in. But as far as like outside of that, hometown, bias or whatever, it was because of her. When I'm watching her in college, Kentucky, she balling. I'm like, oh yeah, she's a bucket. Where's she going?
Where's she going?
You know what I mean? That's where she went. She got injured, but that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Earlier in her career, but yeah, and then like you said, Alicia Gray, I feel like for them two, they like, okay, let's play together. We gonna, okay, you get your 20, Alicia, you get your 20, Ryan Howard gonna get her 16, 17. But if she gotta get her 25, she gonna get her 25. Because like I said, that game in particular, Alicia Gray, she wasn't really, it was an off game for her. It wasn't it wasn't a bag, it was just off. So just Ryan, like, okay, I'm gonna step up. BG scored more. It was just that, it's hard for all three of them to get 18 plus. And if they do, it's spooky, But like I said, they bounced back, they beat the Fever. They still second in the East right now, so I mean they're gonna be good. Just that game. But Mabry was going crazy. Mabry was wild.
Let me tell you something about Miss Mabry.
I couldn't even get mad, man.
Miss Mabry is a dog. Okay. Now, see, I saw her. I wasn't fully committed to her at Notre Dame. I didn't think that she was gonna be a dog in the W. Now, when she was in Chicago, I'm like, okay, I think she got a little bounce to her. She got a little energy to her.
Right.
This season, though, I feel like she got even more bounce and even more grit to her because her team trash. You know what I mean? It's like she trying to prove the point. Like, first of all, she requested a trade out of the last situation, right? Now she over here, and she didn't think that this situation was going to be a losing situation. She ain't know the very next season they was about to offload everybody. Everybody about to be gone, right?
Everybody gone, right?
I don't want to play for Chicago. I want to play for a winning organization. She gets traded to Connecticut, which in a bit of that time that she was there last season, it was a winning organization. Not anymore. You got a new coach. You ain't got your point forward, your forward point. You ain't got, all you got really is you. Now, the thing about it is, they roster not even that bad.
Yeah, right.
They roster actually, if the Mystics are winning, Connecticut should be winning.
Right.
Because the rosters aren't that significantly different. Mystics got a rookie, a couple of rookies, right?
Yeah.
Connecticut got a couple of vets. Like, Waikiki averaging more than Tina Charles.
Right.
Let's make that make sense.
Right.
Tina Charles gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
He just got here.
Fact.
It's coaching. It's all coaching. That's the reason why Connecticut, if they would have still had Stephanie this season, they will look like a different team.
I believe that.
And so I just feel like it's a short end of the stick. And sometimes when I'm watching them play, actually most times when I'm watching them play, they have no identity on offense. So everything is, you just go get your bucket. Figure out how you gonna get your bucket. And if you can't get your specific bucket, then at least create an open shot. And it's not many people on that team that can do that. And also, that's just bad offensive strategy. So you mean to tell me we playing 5-on-5, 1-on-1?
That's just some pickups. Yeah, that's like pickup.
Exactly. Like, we doing that at the LA Fitness. Why am I doing this here when I got a coach? What are you here for?
Right.
Where's your chalkboard at? Where's your whiteboard and your marker? Like,
right.
and so I'm watching them, and I really feel for Mabry. I feel for Sanaya Rivers. I feel like Sanaya Rivers got hella game. And
Oh, I can't wait, yo. I can't. She's gonna be, yo. I cannot wait because I wasn't really familiar with her, to be honest, until the tournament.
Yeah.
Which I'm mad because I'm like, dang, I wish I would have been, the NCAA tournament like this past season. I'm watching her, and I'm like, oh nah, she is a baller.
Baller.
So I feel with her, she got to bulk up. She got to gain some weight. She got some muscle, not really gain weight per se, but some more muscle. And then if she developed like a 3-point shot or whatever, because she's long.
She's long.
She played great defense.
Great defense.
She plays great defense. So I feel like she's going to be really, really, really good.
Yeah.
As she get older in the season, and not even just the season, just in her career.
Yeah. And I think that they're not calling her this yet, but she actually should be a point guard. She should just flat out be a point guard.
Yeah.
She has an IQ. She can pass. She can handle the rock. What we do know in this league, in this here WNBA, you ain't got to be AI to be a point guard. Meaning, like, you ain't got to have the best, most convincing handles. Look at Ari McDonald.
Yeah.
Her handles ain't crazy, but they fast, and her moves are quick. What we do know about basketball, because we old school basketball fans.
Right.
The people that was really busting your A was the one who knew how to get you on that hip and keep you there.
Yeah.
Just a simple cross, just quick, decisive moves. And with the lack of quality coaching and just a quality infrastructure on top of, they don't know if the team going to be getting sold tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. I don't like that.
It's just so much uncertainty. Like, it's already hard enough to make a team and stay on the team. The last thing you need is the organization to be all up, and then the coaching staff to be like, yeah, I mean, come on, the W. Y'all got 13 teams. You mean to tell me every last coach for every last team should be the best coach in the world?
Right.
If the players gotta defeat the odds just to make a team and keep their contract, I got to jump through 59 hurdles. You mean to tell me y'all not firing these weak ass coaches in the middle of the season?
Yeah.
At the top of the season. Because baby, if it's the NBA, you saw what they did to Mike Brown 17, 20 games in. Oh, you got to go, my boy. Hold on. What, not just coach of the year last year? Yeah, but this a new year.
Yeah.
that was last year's trophy.
Malone for the Nuggets, he got fired right before the playoffs.
Right before the playoffs. Like, what are we doing? Like,
I mean, but I feel like they might right now. I mean, it's 8 new head coaches in the W this year, right? 8 out of 13 teams is crazy, first of all. That's crazy. Okay, we're going to say, because that counts Golden State. Nakasi, we're not going to count her because it's a new franchise, right? Yeah. So scratch her, even though technically it count. So 7. So 7.
You being fair.
7 out of 12, being fair. So 7 new head coaches out of 12 franchises from last year. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
12? That's crazy.
So at what point do you say we're going to give a coach another year?
Yeah, come on, man. Like I said with Chicago, man, we could go. Oh, my bad. Real quick. Speaking on Chicago real quick. Shout out to Angel Reese. She just got the award for Sportswoman of the Year from the BET Awards.
Shout out to Angel.
3 in a row.
Come on, stop playing.
3 in a row.
Stop playing.
3 in a row.
And you know the girlies are mad about it.
Yeah, it's already somebody, and see, because this could go somewhere else. So I'm just gonna touch on it real quick, but it's gonna make us mad. So I'm gonna touch on it. Then I'm gonna go because it's current. So I feel like we try to keep up with the current.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clarissa Shields, right?
Yeah.
The boxer. If y'all don't know, she's a boxer. She's dating Papoose, Remy, my husband. They all of that, right?
Mess.
She tweeted after the award. She tweeted like something on the lines of, "Oh, I thought awards should be based on accolades." She tagged BT in a tweet. But then at the end of the tweet, it was a long tweet. And then at the end of that, she's gonna say congratulations to Angel Reese. Number one, you already diminished her winning, and you shown how we feel about it.
Yep.
And then you're gonna say, okay, but and all in the same tweet.
All in the same tweet.
So I didn't like that because I feel like us as people, it's already, that's the problem with us, that the people, for the most part, black people, is that black people always want to like look down, talk down on our people. Okay, you could be mad. I'm not saying don't be. First of all, Clarissa Shields, to be honest, respectfully, don't, because I don't know if she's gonna ever see this. Don't block me if
don't
you
block
see
me,
this,
because I'm a fan of the
because
quote.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of the quote.
I'm a fan, but what I'm about to say is a lot of people didn't even know you before the whole Papoose situation.
A lot of people didn't.
So at the end of the day, you can't knock BET. You can't knock whoever the voters are. You can't knock that. We've known Angel Reese for she's been in the W 2 years. I mean, she did college for the 4 years. Probably people ain't know her in Maryland. All right, we're going to give her at least the last 2 years at LSU. At least the last 2 years. All right. So for the last 4 years, we've known who Angel Reese is.
Yep.
At the end of the day. So I ain't really like that. But again, scratch that. Shout out to Angel Reese for getting 3 times Sportswoman of the Year from the BET Awards. But the whole coaching thing, again, we don't even know what happened to a Teaspoon, Coach Spoon. I really, when a lot of stuff happened, I be wanting to know, like, dang, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know Seattle situation with Jewel Lloyd. Like, what happened?
I
like,
want to
what's
know.
going on? Like, we hear, oh, it was, and people hint on stuff. But, and I know, a lot of stuff you want to keep it in house. I get it. But just from a fan's point of view, we're media now. So from a media point of view, it's like, I want to know, not even to really spread a narrative or put people. I just want to know, because for me, if I knew the situation as media, I would be like, okay, all right. Because right now we're just looking at organizations and programs, and colleges are considered programs. So we're looking at programs, and we're looking at teams and organizations. Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Do y'all care?
So the people don't like to talk about it because of the pushback. But I think the WNBA has a huge race issue. They got a huge race issue. You got 13 teams. In the history of the WNBA, there have been a total of 3 black female head coaches.
3. And one Asian now because of Nikasi.
Yeah. So what? No, really. Now, and then one head coach for Seattle, there's backlash there, which is why Jewel Lloyd and people wanted to leave, and now they've got a whole nother investigation. It's messy over there in Seattle, right?
Right.
You got a black female head coach that's kind of like the spearheading the mess. Allegedly, I don't know nothing. I ain't.
Right.
I'm just over here just reading the articles, right?
Right.
And so I'm like this. In the league that was built on the faces and the backs of the black women, it's the same thing we saying with the NBA. I'm gonna need for y'all to give more opportunities to the blacks. Simple, because again, I had so many questions about Teresa Teaspoon getting fired, and not even the firing, it's the manner. It's the disgraceful, distasteful manner that they fire people. And I'll be like, yo, that was just tacky, because I'm gonna tell y'all, if we was all working at the Family Dollar and my manager fired me the way some of these teams be firing, we'd be wrecking in the back. Now, I'm gonna get fired. You can have your little punk ass badge back, okay, and your little 10% discount, okay, but you gonna catch 2 of them things. Mama,
I'm knocking stuff off the shelf. I'm wilding. I'm sorry.
What? So it's like that's just mad wild. And so the reasons, I felt like some of the reasons why they fired her, if you just watching her, it seemed like, as far as offensive strategy and offensive, like where players need to be and what sets we are running, it seemed like she might have didn't have enough information there. However, she's a rookie head coach.
That's what I'm saying.
And we know she know the game, and she's a point guard.
And then my whole thing is like, what would you rather have? Like I get, okay, they should know what sets, they should know, okay, they should know all that. But wouldn't you rather know, oh, the players like this coach? All right,
we ain't the players winning. Want the coach.
Well, okay, we might not be winning. Coach, you gotta, this offseason should be like, yo, coach, we know the players like, they talk highly of you. All right, get it together. Would you rather have that, or you bring somebody in that might know the plays, that might know, maybe, but then the players don't really relate to that person. So it's like me personally, I'd rather you we figure that out. You got the locker room. What happens is when you lose the locker room, it's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. Look, okay, so prime example, right? Another thing that scuffs our teams, right? Dallas, right? Yeah. I don't doubt, like, if you, just like we say, if you make it to the WNBA, there's no doubt in my mind that you got game.
Another new head coach.
It's 11 spots on each team, maybe 12. Okay, so you got game. You got some of the best game.
Yeah.
So if you make it to be a coach, you went to the interview. I mean, they ain't just hire you. You feel me? Like, they saw something they liked, and they knew they at least they felt in their gut that you had the basketball mind to get the team to the next level. Okay, but now that the games are being played, and I'm not seeing your intellect being reflected on the court, because I'm seeing simple things happen. I'm seeing lack of transition on defense. Ain't nobody getting back. So when I see basic stuff, with you the guard and you take the 3-point shot, I'm the point guard. I'm the shooting guard. I'll take the shot. Everybody know your next guard got to be back. I can't be worried about if she gonna make it or not. I got to get back to stop the transition.
That's a
if
fact.
I'm the point guard taking the shot,
I got shooting guard.
Can't hold the wrist up. I gotta be like Halliburton, shoot that, and then I gotta go.
And even if you do, like you said, that shooting guard, they got to go back, or that small forward, because they play 3 guard sets now a lot. So that one of them other guards got to get back. Shoot, whoever, if you on the other side, you get back. Why you get back? Y'all not about to get the offensive rebound. Yeah,
it's over with. And then you got to know, like, if you playing a team like Chicago, right?
Right.
Certain teams, you're not gonna get no offensive rebounds.
Right.
Reach down there. Bro, what you doing on the glass?
Right.
Just get back. You feel me? But ain't nobody tripping about a lot of things because you got certain injuries. Paige come back tonight.
Yeah, she come back. Yep.
It's about to get different. See, and like you said before, once you lose the locker room, the players start playing. They start creating their own game plan outside. Like, okay, you said what? Bet this is what we gonna do. You feel me? Like, we don't care about none of that.
Right.
And you see that because what's happening? All you see is pick and roll. I know when you ain't got no. I know when you lost the locker room. When all I see, because on Connecticut, all I see, guard got the ball, give me the screen. Nothing else. No back screens. No. So I'm like,
flare screens. None of that.
You got somebody like JC Sheldon. You got ballers though. There's some ballers in the WNBA that can be utilized. Prime example. Look at Lexi Hull. Look how her game has developed under a new coach.
Yeah.
She's a prototypical WNBA player. I ain't got to get a bunch of buckets, but if you put me in the right positions, I can all of a sudden be averaging 12 points. Yeah. Just by being in the right positions. Yeah. Because a lot of times, just by being in the right position, gonna get you on the foul line. But if you're not the coach who's looking at the X's and O's 3-4 plays down the line and looking at, okay, the domino effects of certain things, all you see is come down the court, big man set the pick and roll. Maybe if you Tina Charles, maybe pop, but read the defense. Maybe you want to pop, maybe you want to roll. No. Simple. Right. Okay, we got to be decisive, and we have to be able to explore our options and utilize the personnel that we have. I don't know why the pick and roll ain't being ran with Sanaya Rivers and Mabry. Right. Make the defense play defense.
Yeah, pick and roll, pick and pops, either or.
What we gonna do? Because I would love to see Sanaya Rivers go to she's long. You have no idea how quick. I've been watching in North Carolina State for a long time. It's 2 teams that I've been rocking with for about 4 years now. Obviously, South Carolina. Right. Then this NC State. And every year, the coach proves me right. That's a sleeper team down there. Every year, he's got 2 people that got drafted this year from NC State. Nobody's talking about it because everybody wants to talk about South Carolina, Notre Dame, and da-da-da-da.
And UConn.
And UConn. NC State getting people in the league, and I wonder why. And they not getting cut. Dallas got a rookie from NC State, and Connecticut got a rookie. And both of them got drafted to teams with not great coaches. So the coaching just overall, I bet not see, like you said, we had 7 new head coaches this season. We can't be doing that every season, y'all.
You can't. That's tough, man. It's tough, man.
You got to build camaraderie with the team and rapport with the team, trust and belief within the locker room.
Right.
Again, I'm from Cleveland, right? The Cavs went through, LeBron specifically went through a bunch of bad coaches.
Right.
Cleveland. When he found his coach, Tyronn Lue, right? Because Tyronn Lue got promoted. He was the defensive coach.
Right.
He got promoted when the head coach got clipped. Like they say, oh no, you got to go. You got to get out of here. I'm a firm believer. Cavs don't have Tyronn Lue in 2016. It ain't no way you can come back down 3-1 with a coach that you don't want to play hard for.
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
You're going to do, LeBron and Kyrie literally did every single thing possible that they can do in their body, and they executed.
Yeah.
Every single game, no games off, no minutes off. You only playing like that if you rock with your coach.
That's a fact.
That's it. I'm not running through a brick wall for a coach who I don't trust.
Right.
It's almost like when you in school, you in high school, whatever little grade it is. It's like, if you got a teacher that you rock with, I hated math, right? Yeah. I came across a cold ass math teacher, Miss Harris. I don't know where you at, wherever you at. I hope you see the video. Shout out to
Miss Harris.
Yo, I was learning how to do some coach in math, and we was gambling it. Now, you don't tell nobody, but it's online now. We was gambling playing pity pat. She's showing us how to do the math with the cards. I'm like, hold on, count the cards. Listen, that's what you need. You need somebody who can see, okay, you might not like this, but I'm gonna show you how to love it though.
Right.
That's what a coach gonna do. A great coach is gonna show you how to love defense. I don't give a damn if you ain't never played it. I'm gonna show you ways that you're gonna get instant gratification from going out there and stopping Caitlin Clark, Ryan Howard. Watch this. And now you got a coach in Atlanta who's really an offensive-minded coach, but because she liked the coach so much, she out here stopping the best scorer on the team.
Yeah, facts.
That's what happens when you like your coach. You do things that you don't even think that you can do. And now you get up the next day, go to the next game, and now because you prove yourself that you can do it, now you want to do it.
Right.
And that's the difference. So shout out to somebody like Mabry. Shout out to Angel Reese. Shout out to all the players that are playing outside the limitations of their coaching.
Yeah.
I wish Arike, I can't wait for her to step up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel you know that's a tough situation for her too.
Tough.
Because I feel like this year might be the first year in a while. I'm trying to think. I mean, she had Dejanay with her last year, but Dejanay is just a bucket. She gonna just do what she do. Nobody really run plays. Well, that's this year. That's this year with Dejanay. Last year when she was with Connecticut. But Dejanay is like a player to where, you don't have to really run plays for her. She playing point guard right. Well, Paige come back, so she shouldn't have to. But these last few games, she's been playing the point basically.
Yeah, she's smart. She's a smart player.
Yeah, she is.
Smart.
But I feel like before this year,
she's wild as the Wild West, but she's smart though.
Yeah, like before this year, I feel like Arike kind of had to do everything. So this year, I feel like as a basketball player, as a hooper, I feel like if I got Paige, even though before she got hurt, if I got Paige, if I got Dejanay, I'm like, okay, you got Nalissa. I'm like, okay, we got some ballers on the squad.
I'm looking around.
So maybe I don't gotta have 25 attempts, because she would get 25 points, but she would have like 30 attempts, right? Yeah. Or 30 something attempts. So this year I feel like she's like, okay, but I'm sorry, Arike, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
You gotta get them shots up. But see, it's so difficult when I'm watching that team, and I'm like, oh my God, if you just had 1 to 2 solid plays, like why nobody even attempts the triangle? You feel me? Like, why nobody even try to do that, Phil Jackson? Point. Even when you got the personnel. You got the personnel to get it off.
Yeah.
But they don't even trying it. And I'm like, dang, when Arika not on the ball, she just somewhere lost off the ball. Literally. And I'm like, my coach is supposed to keep I remember playing where you literally had 2 screens going at the same time. Now we see this motion in football. You see somebody on this side over here getting picked as a distraction because they think you got them thinking that you trying to throw it to this receiver, but they don't know you got a sweep going on over here or a drag on the right hand side.
Right.
But you showing a pick on the left. You confusing them because you got all the defense shifted to the left.
Right.
They not even paying attention that, oh yeah, I got this. I'm gonna send this wide out on a drag, and he gonna come right back to the ball wide open. Curl, boom. In his hands, pockets.
That goes back to coaching, though. Again,
it goes back to coaching. So it's like, if you're not doing like misdirection, if you're not really trying to disguise what you're doing, you got to be really darn good at doing what you're doing.
Right.
And they're just not. So I feel like this season, hopefully there's some progress made towards the end of the season that we see, obviously, with a healthy Paige. And them not having 4 games, it hurt the chemistry. You know what I mean? So now they kind of got to rebuild that chemistry a little bit. But again, seeing the game from the sidelines make you appreciate it a little bit more when you between the lines. So I think Paige going to come in with an even sharper basketball IQ because she's been watching this game for 4 games
I would see that
on the sideline. So I'm like, okay, she going to come back and be like, oh, no, Carrington, you go there. Okay, Enrique, you go there. And Paige might be 5 years from now best point guard we ever seen in the W. She can do everything.
Yeah, because the whole thing with that is like, I know we're gonna switch the subject soon, but real quick, as far as that go, people forgot about Paige. Like, Paige was really her before Caitlin Clark was her.
She got the injury.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to. So I feel like that injury, people like, she got hurt. Okay, dang. Okay, so she out. All right. So then that's when the Caitlin Clark effect came. All right. Now people watching her. Not saying people wouldn't have been watching Caitlin, but I feel like it would have been more of Paige or Caitlin rather than Caitlin and Angel. When it comes to and that comparison only came to when it came to the "you can't see me" situation.
Exactly.
Once that, then that's when it just went crazy as far as like the Caitlin and Angel situation. But as far as Paige go, Paige was really her.
Yeah,
that's why I was happy. That's why I was really happy that she was able to win the Natty her senior year, because I feel like she would have won. She would have won before, but she just got hurt.
Well,
so
we hope she would have won before, because she would have still had to win
so
over that South Carolina beast.
Mm-hmm.
That was a true beast. But we love to see Dawn and Gino. I don't care who's on the court. If Dawn and Gino is on the sideline, my money split, baby, because it can go either way.
It could go either way.
It can go either way.
Yeah. Gino got the best. Gino got the best of Dawn this year. But like I said, as far as like to your point, I could see Paige being one of those, like you said, within the next 5 years or in 5 years or whatever. I feel like people will be considering her the best, point guard in the W in a couple of years, especially if she could stay healthy.
Yeah. So shout out to Paige. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Paige Buckets.
Come on, come on now.
So that's how they call her Paige Buckets. Hey, come on. Now.
And she been had that. Like, okay, so just real quick. Okay, so we've been watching Paige play since she was like 11.
Right.
So this ain't no, like, the Caitlin Clark wave of fandom is pretty new. We've been fans of Paige since she was little.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, damn, that's like she like my niece age. You feel me? So I've been watching Paige, and it was crazy because she brought me to stuff like Overtime Sports and stuff on YouTube, these little channels, because I wasn't hip to that. But I was following her playing her AAU and all these little things. I'm like, okay, Paige there, I'm pulling up. She said, I go on YouTube. Oh, Paige video. Oh yeah, let me see what she got going on.
Right.
But before her, I never did that for nobody. So I'm happy to see her in the W. Definitely can't wait to see her back on the court in between those lines doing what she need to do. Her core, her rules. Shout out to her. All right, let's go ahead and touch on a little bit of this EuroLeague, and then we can go ahead and wrap it up. You heard? The episode 3 is popping.
Yeah. It's a fact. Shout out to everybody that's tapped in, man.
Facts. All right, so we do have the EuroLeague tournament that's going on, about to start here soon, and some key players have left the W. I guess temporarily suspended so they can go ahead and play and represent their teams, represent their countries. A lot of players that played in it last year are not playing this year, like, notable players like Gabby Williams and Sabali, who's playing for Phoenix. They decided to opt out. And the W does a pretty good job at being, I guess, fair. Like, okay, you want to represent your team, go ahead and then come back and rock with us when you finish.
Yeah, you like you ain't getting paid for it. That's all. Do you?
Yeah. You it is what it is. Hell,
You
you
can be
wanna
going
you
for a
wanna
month
miss
if you
out on your
want to.
$50 a game, then that's on you. Like, whatever.
You can be going for this money if you want to, but you ain't
What you
getting
don't
paid
know
for
is
it.
you volunteer to play for us anyway. I mean, come on. And so for teams that want to kind of put these like hard restrictions, like, oh, if you don't play all the season, you can't play, it leaves a bad taste in those people's mouths, like Gabby Williams, because remember, she was playing for Chicago.
Yeah,
And she left Chicago to play for the EuroLeague, and Chicago said, "Oh, you can't come back."
France.
And she said, "Well, fine, I won't come back." And I bet you Chicago wish she had came back. And
Yeah, yeah. She represented France. They did good.
yep,
The USA ended up, beating them in the Olympics last year, but France
yep,
had a good team though
they
last
had
year.
a great team, and USA barely beat them. I
Right.
mean, I think we won by what, a point, 2 points.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
it
it
was
was an
close game.
incredible game. I
Yeah.
was on the edge of my seat. First of all, last year's Olympics basketball, both men and women, was some
Yeah.
good. That was some good. I
That was
I
some
don't
good
think I've
basketball.
ever been that tapped in since high school. I'm talking about
Right.
when Kobe and them was in there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was an incredible run for the Olympics, and so the EuroLeague sets the stage for like FIBA and sets the stage for the Olympics as well. So it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the women players that definitely represent their country. If I had another country to represent, I'd be over there representing mine too. Respectful. Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it just depends on your priorities at the
Yeah.
time. I feel like it depends on your plan at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
You got somebody like Tierra McCowan that's for that played for Dallas.
Yeah.
She ain't been playing in Dallas.
Yeah.
Like did she hasn't been playing this year. I
Yeah.
should say her minutes is real low. I don't know what it is with that, especially when you get a team that only win one or two games. Well, they only won one game. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't get how how we were saying earlier. I feel like everybody should be getting a shot. We only
Yeah.
won one game, two games, three
What are we
games.
doing?
I don't get you starting. You starting. All right,
Rotate them
you
minutes
6 minutes.
around.
Yeah, rotate the minutes to try to figure out a good rotation. So if you get somebody like her, because she left, right?
Yeah.
So somebody like her, if I was her, yeah, I would left too. It's this WNBA season, it's over.
It's over with.
I ain't playing, whatever. You get somebody like Gabby, you know, she just was dedicated, and this is before the season. She was like, "Man, I'm standing a W this year."
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get Phoebish,
Oh
So
yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
another
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
too, with certain teams, with if he, like I said, with Tierra leaving, okay, Dallas, I don't feel like it's going to affect. She wasn't playing, but then
Right.
when you get somebody like Phoebish in New York, it's like she's a key player. She
Yeah.
was a key player, and she played a key role in us winning the chip last year.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, granted, it's only she just played the last game, so she left after the last game.
Yeah.
All right, so depending on where they gonna play, or
Mm-hmm.
depending on how good they do in the EuroLeague
Yeah.
tournament, all right, between like 3 to 7 games, which could be a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right, so basically the month of June, basically, right?
Right.
So for the month of June, I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see where New York gonna be.
Yeah.
We definitely got some good players. Burt,
Oh man.
she's shooting over
Bruh.
60% from the 3-point line.
And
So
I caught an interview where she was like, they were sleeping on me last year. They didn't think I could shoot. So all off season, all I
yeah,
did was put up shots.
right. And
And
then like
so
I
she
was
was like,
saying,
I want to be known as the best shooter this season because they said last season I couldn't shoot.
right.
And now I was like, not only can she shoot, baby girl got the Euro step.
Yeah, she's balling. And then,
Balling.
with them losing them players, like I said earlier, the players that we lost, it's like, okay, now it's more minutes for her.
Yeah.
It's more minutes for her. So now she's shooting over 60%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So listen, everybody, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us on another episode of Her Court, Her Rules. I am Najah Lee,
Your
my
boy
boy Hustle.
Hustle.
Let's go. Represent that up top. You
Yes,
feel me?
sir.
We gonna be back with y'all next week. We're gonna do another weekly recap. Every week we do a weekly recap. Tell y'all the hottest things that happen, some of the ups, some of the downs, and we just keep it all the way a bean. If y'all like real talk, real conversation about basketball, pull up to Her Court, Her Rules. Najah Lee, Hustle. This is Beyond the Lens TV, sponsored by Free Your Lens. Appreciate everybody for rocking. We see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.